Greetings, ghosts and ghouls, and welcome to Bad Boo, the podcast Conjured for the curious, where we explore all things frights, flicks, and folklore.
We are your haunted hosts, Sam and Jodie, guiding you through every episode of occult exploration and holding your hand the whole way through.
So, if you like the sounds of spooks and symphonies of screams, then keep listening as we unravel our mystic matter for this week.
There you go. In today's episode, we'll be performing a trick by soaring into killer clowns and their tricky ways. And along the way, we'll be stopping by a particularly terrifying movie on our way to the big top.
Oh yes, so we are going into the good old topic of killer clowns. So if you guys like clowns or don't like clowns, this is the perfect episode for you. So again, as we probably all do with every single one of our episodes, there's a little trigger warning for you because
they get pretty graphic.
There's some very graphic stuff in here, both from our silver screen, which if you'd seen on our Instagram at Bad Boo Podcast, you may have guessed what it is already, but if not, keep listening and we'll reveal very soon. So delving into our Mystic Matter section, as we do with all of our episodes, we say, what is X topic? So in this case, what is a killer clown?
So, a killer clown is actually just a term that describes an archetype which just overthrows the traditional cheerful circus performer into a sinister figure. And basically it blends humour with horror, utilising exaggerated features like the the usual painted smiles, oversized shoes, and like the squeezy noses and that type of stuff. To actually evoke horror and terror and unpredictability and deep-seated psychological unease.
Indeed.
And issues.
I think whether people are actually afraid of clowns or not, I think everybody has been at some point. Because whether you're like little, there's like a little phase where you think, but as we'll get into this soon, a lot of it is culturally influenced. So.
Well, it's funny that you said that about culture, because actually the term is a cultural trope. So it comes from like urban legends, where there's things like what you said, where we're told about like kind of evil clowns, or like we don't trust clowns from a very young age, which is who they're directed towards anyway. Yeah. Because we're just taught to not really trust them. They're like very misleading figures.
They are.
And there's urban legends about clowns that used to terrorize people, and then obviously we have the historical side of things, where there were serial killers who would utilize the clown persona, blending that like really harmless visual concept of a circus clown with really sinister, dangerous, and murderous intent.
Yes, so it can be twisted in whatever way, but obviously these influence massively how people perceive the clowns.
100%.
But obviously the term can be broken down into lots of different categories. First of which is probably the most obvious, is like cinematic villains. So you'll have fictional characters in like pop culture designed to induce dread. So you have famous examples like, of course,
I'm trying to think if we've got any examples on the wall.
Yeah, there's probably a few behind us.
Oh, we do. Yeah, there's some behind you.
Yeah, you'll probably see it there.
Pennywise.
Yeah,
Terrifier, Art the Clown.
Yeah. They don't have the Joker, which is one of them as well. But yeah, Pennywise, Art the Clown, Terrifier, for example. But yeah, of course, you also have like real world criminals. So you have the most notable historical cases, such as that of Mr. John Wayne Gacy himself, who is actually known as the Killer Clown.
Yeah.
And he was a serial killer in the 1970s who occasionally performed as a children's entertainer named Pogo
the Clown.
So that topic we won't actually be covering in this episode, but if you want to hear us talk about this very, very gruesome case, then go to the description and check us out on Patreon, in our Patreon secret society called the Conjured Club.
We go into it on there.
Yes, it'll be going in quite deep into that one. So go and check it out, and for a small price, you can have
extra content,
extra episodes,
live streams,
gameplays,
gaming plays,
there's
movie reviews,
basically
chat forums,
extra content
Yeah.
where you guys can actually be actively involved with us in live time a lot of the time.
And when we inevitably have merch, because we're already planning that type of stuff,
Yes.
that's going to be the first place to get it.
Yes.
They get it before you guys.
Yes,
So go and check it
want to
out.
be part of,
Go and get the-
want to be Bad
the
News
early
secret
access.
super fans, then
Yeah.
check out the Conjured Club.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the main episode that we're on right now. The term actually gained notoriety during the viral clown sighting crazes, where pranksters actually dressed in evil clown costumes to deliberately intimidate or chase members of the public. We'll be going a little bit more into that in a moment.
We will
but
be.
yeah,
Because we lived through that.
if you guys were around in 2016,
Mhm.
if you're watching, then you'll remember a certain craze that was quite
Yeah.
global in terms of, it's quite prevalent across the globe.
If you weren't around in 2016, but you are now, then that means that you're 10 or under. So why are you watching this episode?
Yeah, we
Go and
recommend
get parental supervision.
recommend not.
You should be at least
thank you.
15 or over.
Well, just-
15s can watch gory stuff, can't they?
I suppose so.
Yeah, we'll give it 15 stamp of approval. 15A.
We are still grateful that everyone is here, though.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, but
If you're not,
just bear in mind
just
the
be
content.
careful.
But yeah, anyway, experts often attribute the fear of killer clowns to the term coulrophobia. So, coulrophobia.
Coulrophobia.
That is the name of the fear of clowns.
Exactly. And this is when we get into the topic of why. So usually when we do these episodes, it's the what, then the why, and then we get into the when and where.
Yeah.
So why clowns, pretty much? And that is because coulrophobia is the persistent, irrational, and often extreme fear of clowns. So those who experience it feel significant psychological distress, anxiety, or even panic attacks when exposed to a clown's exaggerated makeup, features, colourful costumes, and unpredictable behaviour. And like we were saying earlier, the phobia is basically deeply rooted in the unsettling nature of like disguised identities.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who you're looking at or what you're talking to.
I think it actually comes the similar thing, like people that are afraid of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, because
Really?
they have like no expression.
Oh.
Because they've just got a beak and eyes, but they just,
Oh.
it's that expressionless thing.
I thought it was because they like fly at you.
Yeah, it comes with other things, but it's because of the expression. They have
Oh,
no
I didn't know
like
that.
muscles, obviously, in
Yeah,
their face.
in their face.
So, yeah,
The more you know.
the more you know.
But for clowns at least, it's to do with not being able to see a person's true face or emotions, like you said. And basically the cognitive dissonance, so like the disconnect of the figure that's supposed to be funny but behaves like unpredictably.
Yeah.
And there's a few like key aspects to the whole kind of concept of coulrophobia. The first one being like how the word came about. So it was basically coined in the 20th century and is believed to derive from the ancient Greek word.
Bear with us
me.
on this one.
Colabathrion? Colabatheron.
Colobathron.
Colabathron.
Interesting word.
Took me a while,
Yeah.
but it's a big word.
We're getting there.
But it basically translates to the words stilt walker, because obviously they used to walk on stilts back in the days.
Yep.
And they still do at like very traditional like steam fair circuses. and
Yeah,
stuff,
that sort of
don't they?
steampunk type
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
full of people on stilts.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are afraid of people on stilts. Just
Yeah.
that exclusively.
Really?
Yeah.
I can
don't-
understand why. It's quite intimidating, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm sure there's someone in my primary school
Gives
that
like
was scared
Slender
of.
Man vibes.
When I was at primary school, there was someone that was scared of people on stilts.
Did you ever have those like upside down plastic cup things with the ropes on them, and you'd step on them, and you'd use them to walk, but you were like taller?
Yes.
Did you have those?
You sort of pulled it at the front,
Yeah,
and you
because
had
they were like
cups.
kid stilts,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
They must have hated those.
Yes, and if my mum is watching, all I'll say is Butler's Wood. You remember that, the stilt incident?
There was an incident with the stilts.
my
I'll
mum-
be hearing about that after the
Yeah,
podcast.
Basically, my mum
Oh,
was on stilts. We were on holiday. She was on stilts, tried it out, and just toppled right over. And it was on camera. Yeah. So we have
Oh,
that
no.
somewhere in the archives of our family memory drives. So yeah,
We've
that's
got to
a
find
good
that
memory.
now so that I can see that. That would be really funny.
Yes, when we go over there next, we'll see it.
But anyway, so it's combining the word stilt walker with the word that relates to fear, which is phobia.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the symptoms of this fear. So basically, it's a comical? It's not comical at all. The clowns are trying to be comical, but this isn't comical.
Not my
It's a
camera.
really common physical reaction, which includes the kind of classic anxiety-inducing ones. So a rapid heart rate, shortness of breath, nausea, an overwhelming sense of dread, and individuals usually actively go out of their way to like avoid costume parties or circuses or imagery related to clowns.
My grandpops.
Does he?
Yeah.
Really?
He's scared of clowns.
I thought that I was scared of clowns, but I didn't have a trouble like doing this research and stuff.
No?
Because there's tiny little like circus things all over our thing. I don't know if that's going to pick up on there, but you can see there's little clowns all over it because I've inserted different stickers and stuff.
Give it a
But
bit,
yeah,
bit of jazz.
Yeah, just spice it up a little bit. So before we get into the next page, we're just going to go on to the actual root of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to earlier on when we said that it's the unsettling nature of hidden identities and stuff, mental health professionals and researchers actually attribute the fear to the uncanny valley effect. So
I don't like the uncanny valley stuff.
No. That
Too much.
freaks me out, which I understand, and I think that's like where my personal fear of it comes from.
Yeah.
And it's basically where it's painted on and it's exaggerated, and the concealed facial expressions, because they're always like, even if they're like, they still have that painted on huge smile. So it's like you can't really tell.
Can't tell if they're sad or not.
No, you can't tell.
There's a part in Joker, like the Joaquin Phoenix one, where he's like plastering his makeup on, but he's like got the sad face and like pulls his like cheeks up. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, in the dressing room.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's a very good scene.
That part freaked me out when I watched that.
But yeah, that basically makes it obviously really difficult to read their expressions, and then because you can't read their expression, it makes it more difficult to understand what their intention is in the actual situation that you're in.
Yeah.
So it leads to distrust.
Indeed.
And then where there's like pop culture references like It by Stephen King, this also has contributed to the entire creepy clown trope.
Yes. It's kind of like a Jaws on it, where people start going out hunting sharks or being afraid of going in the sea.
Yeah.
Kind of altered the fear, I suppose.
That reminds me of the clown incident from Centre Parks.
Yes. Yes, we won't go into that now.
We won't, but if you want to know about all of our personal experiences and stuff, go over to Patreon.
It's just a funny conversation I had with...
dropping them into the episodes.
It's a funny conversation I had with someone when I went to Centre Parks which was last year, about how upset he was about Pennywise destroying his career because he was a clown.
Yeah.
But the whole conversation is funny. But we'll go into that on our Patreon if you guys want to hear about that. But yeah, as we said earlier, our kind of little case, or one of the cases that we're going to be covering here, is the killer clown craze from 2016, which I've didn't personally witness a clown myself.
I didn't see them, but I saw videos of them in my area.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
But that's because I was really...
on the Isle of Wight.
I was really afraid to go out. Yeah. So I just didn't go out anymore.
Yeah, it did freak me out. I used to look around me all the time in 2016. Whoa. But anyway, the killer clown craze was a global phenomenon, if you can call it a phenomenon, where individuals were actually dressed as often menacing clowns to terrorise the public and cause widespread panic. And it sparked a marketing stunt in Wisconsin. And the incidents actually spread internationally, resulting in school lockdowns, police warnings, and real-world violence. I mean, I remember my school got like a warning about the clowns, to say like to not approach them if they come to you like offering stuff. Don't talk to them.
I think I remember hearing
if they
that
like intimidate
on
you,
the
call the
radio.
police and stuff.
I think I heard it on the radio because I think it was announced on like BBC radio or something, or it was on the news in the morning. It was like, so if you do see these individuals, do not approach them, please contact the police, and kind of like a see it, say it, sort of type of thing.
Yeah, see it, say it, sorted, but not for trains, but for clowns.
No.
Anyway, a little bit of context for it. In the origins, the phenomenon actually began in August 2016 in Green Bay, Wisconsin, with the sighting of a clown holding black balloons, which you can probably get a picture up of that because I've seen that's a really famous
We want to
picture.
take a picture here.
Ta-da. Later revealed to be a viral marketing stunt for the horror film Gags.
Which, I looked at the poster and I haven't seen the film. But it looks like decent. So if you
it's
have
quite
seen,
hard to do a good clown film, isn't it?
If you have seen
I don't know.
Gags, let us know how it is in the comments below.
Yeah, because we might be very wrong. It might be good. It might be really shit.
I just saw the poster and I thought, oh, I didn't know it's from that.
Yeah.
Who
There you
knows?
go. But the trend then migrated to South Carolina, where the police investigated reports of clowns attempting to lure children into the woods.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, why do people do it in the first place?
People are starting to dress up now to lure children outside of schools. Have
Yeah,
you
the Pink
seen this?
Panther thing.
There's the Pink Panther, and then there's somebody.
really creeped me
There's
out.
somebody
I hated
else
that.
who dressed up as a different type of like a bear or something.
Oh, dear.
I think it was like a polar bear or like a onesie. I can't remember what it was. There was
dear
something
me.
else somewhere.
Some
But yeah,
are just
people are starting to dress up
absolutely
as like
mental.
different animals.
Like
and
fluffy
stuff.
characters.
Yeah, to try and lure
In
children.
some ways that's
so-
kind of worse in some
Yeah.
ways. I think it's just even more like dodgy. And it propagated by local news and social media. The hysteria quickly snowballed, and by October 2016, sightings and copycat pranks had spread across the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, where we are, and parts of Europe. So there we go. Yeah, that's kind of the origins
Yeah.
of that.
And then that leads to, of course, public panic
Yeah.
and, well, just repercussions. from
Why
that,
would you
isn't
not
it?
panic?
With-
I certainly
exactly.
did. when
I
saw
did
it.
as well. I was like, the world's going to end.
like,
I was
oh,
like, this is the
shit.
start of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I was like, everybody's going to turn into a killer clown
Yeah.
or a zombie
Not my
or
camera.
a zombie killer clown.
Not my zombie killer clown.
There is a zombie killer clown in, what film is it? Zombieland. I don't know why I couldn't think of it.
Oh, is it?
That's really, really terrifying. Yeah. Because he's got like the classic like red wig
I haven't actually
like
seen
around his
Zombieland.
hair.
It's pretty bad.
And then he ends up, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Zombieland, skip the next couple of seconds. He ends up, Jesse Eisenberg's character, I think it was him, ends up knocking him over and bashing his brains in with one of those mallets, you know, that you used to like hit the bell at,
Oh, yeah.
at a con?
Yeah.
Yeah, he uses one of those.
Oh, that's cool.
And you hear...
Sound like Mickey Mouse.
There you go. You hear when he like hits his head.
Had to get the right tone there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll edit it out
so-
so I get it right the first time.
no.
No,
we'll
I
keep
won't.
that in. We'll keep that in.
Anyway, so while many sightings involved harmless pranksters simply standing near forests or schools, which is kind of not harmless standing near a school.
Yeah, I wouldn't
You know what
really
I mean? Like
put that down as
standing
being
in like
harmless.
a residential area is like bad enough because there might be kids nearby, but like standing near a school where they don't have their parents or anything.
Yeah, and they're not really related to any of the children to come
No.
and pick them up
But,
from
like,
school. It's
standing
a
near a-
little bit on
Yeah.
the weird,
Standing
dodgy
near a
side.
forest and stuff, obviously, is like
Yeah.
fine. But standing near a school, I think is a bit
It's
far.
not really fine anywhere, is
No,
it?
but you
But
know what I mean.
That's
It's like you're
kind
gonna
of
see,
like...
a couple of dog walkers, like a cyclist in the forest. You're not
That's
gonna
where
see
it's kind
kids
of like...
in the forest, hopefully.
All right, you're getting a bit too much now. Type.
But anyway, so from that, the craze created a really volatile mix of fear and like contagion. So like as soon as one person got scared, it was a domino effect across like the mainstream media and the public, and everybody just went crazy.
Yeah.
So parents were terrified, and calls were made to emergency hotlines, which just spiked dramatically. So they couldn't answer calls, they couldn't answer real like situation calls as well. And then there was also like the trend that then led to clown hunts being like provoked by police. So there were like assaults and even fatalities eventually, where several individuals were arrested for wielding weapons and making terrorist threats, which I remember is what happened. Like I was closer to London,
Yeah.
so I remember the ones in our area, like the videos that we were getting up that were like 20, maybe 30 minutes away, were the people that had like machetes and stuff. So that's why we were like too afraid to go outside.
There was a
after
fella
dark.
on the Isle of Wight he called himself the White Knight. You know,
Oh,
like
I've
white
heard of this. Yeah,
knight,
yeah.
like the Isle of Wight spelling of
Mhm.
white. And yeah, I believe he went and hunted the clowns as like dressed as Batman.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
so
as Batman.
he dressed as Batman. I'm pretty sure it was for this, but there was definitely someone who did.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that he did it because he saw like all of these clowns as like dangerous.
Yeah.
So he went out and basically like threatened them or beat them up because they're
Fair
like
play.
walking around with weapons. I mean, don't take that verbatim, but I'm sure we can probably find a link to that. So
Yeah.
if you're interested and you see a link below that has it, then you know that
Yeah.
I haven't
definitely.
just got that out of nowhere. But
And-
there was someone called the White Knight on the island who dressed as Batman for a reason, and I'm pretty sure it was this thing in 2016.
Well, now I've got my research topic for our Patreon episode, because in that episode is where we do our Isle of Fright segment now. So if you want to know about the Isle of Wight, then that's what we're probably going to be talking about. Is this crown craze?
Crown craze.
I'm going to say it again.
Clown craze.
Clown craze. There we go. And from these terrorist threats and things, there was then kind of backlash from retailers like Target and Walmart, who actually pulled masked clowns and costumes from their shelves entirely, and McDonald's was heavily restricted in its public appearances because of Ronald McDonald to avoid any associations with the panic.
And Bro is like the OG clown.
Yeah, and professional entertainers also faced harassment or lost work. And by professional entertainers, they're not talking about strippers, they're talking about clowns.
Yeah, these are different types of entertainers, if you like. So there was obviously rapid escalation within the situation. And it baffled both sociologists and the general public. And forum users on good old Reddit actually debate whether the event was driven strictly by viral contagion, local media algorithms, or even politically motivated distractions during a contentious US election year. Which things like that have happened before, and we all know that the media tends to warp and twist depending on what's going on politically speaking, to distract you from things.
It happens nowadays as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But that is not the topic for today. So we will not be talking
not
about
on the
that.
Bad View podcast.
Not here. You will not find that
There
on
are
here.
multiple
Because we would rant about
podcasts
that
and
for
stuff.
ages.
Yes, we would.
But the craze eventually died down following Halloween in 2016. Not the film, because there wasn't a film in 2016. No, there wasn't. Though similar isolated incidents have actually occasionally surfaced in years since. But I will end on a little note on this one, is that people think that because it's 10 years that it's gonna happen again this year.
Ooh,
So
that would be kind of cool if it did happen again.
it would be cool, but
Because like the generation,
depends in what
like-
way they go.
but the generation that of course, not the violent ones, but like if the generation that experienced it are all 10 years older now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like our age, it's like we're adults now, everybody's like mostly moved out, or like actually no, because of like the housing crisis and stuff, everybody still lives at home, but like you've got like money and stuff, you've probably got a car that you can like drive away from them in, or run them over if they are violent people, you know. I'm not promoting that.
We do not promote any sort of violence. Call the authorities.
If they hit you
But
first, hit them back, that's why I say.
Self-defense.
Yes, that's
Self-defense is always okay.
fine.
Call the police first. Run away.
Yes.
First. Okay, we'll move on.
Don't listen to me.
Yes. But yeah. Anyway.
Getting back, we have actually it was quite a refined list for cases to do with killer clowns.
Yeah. There's
we
not
have
tons. Surprisingly.
a mention and we have a case.
Yes.
So the mention that we're going to talk about is obviously John Wayne Gacy, aka Mr. Pogo the Clown.
Yes.
And he was an American serial killer and sex offender who unconsensually
engaged
with young boys, and then tortured them and murdered them. And at least 33 young men and boys between 1972 and 1978 were murdered in the Chicago area. But because that one is a very, very big case and a very long, ongoing case, we're actually not going to be talking
and it's
about
quite
that
graphic
in
but
this episode.
That's why, because YouTube, they're like, they will probably just take this whole episode away. We don't want to risk that, so we are going to have that, and we don't want to miss out the details.
No.
But that will be on Patreon, on the
Yeah.
Conjured Club. Check the link in the description. Head over there. Check it out. That'll be out. You're
Next
listening
week.
to this next week.
Yeah.
But it might already be out by the time you're hearing this, depending on when you're joining Bad Poo.
Yep.
If you're new here, hello. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
If you're not new here and you're already subscribed, hello again. But yes, we shall continue. This
So-
is a case.
Yes. So aside from John Wayne Gacy and his like atrociously inhumane acts that he committed, we have a killer clown hit case, and it goes as follows. So, on May 26, 1990, there was a sunny Saturday morning in Wellington, Florida, and 40-year-old Marlene Warren was having breakfast with her 21-year-old son Joe and some friends. While they were having breakfast, they saw a white Chrysler LeBaron outside, and it was a convertible, and it pulled into the driveway. A person stepped out dressed in a full clown suit. So they had a white mask, an oversized painted orange smile, a red bulb nose, and a bright orange wig.
Your bog standard clown.
Yeah. The clown walked up to the front door carrying a bouquet of red carnations and 2 foil balloons. One balloon featured Snow White and the other one said, "You're the greatest." Marlene answered the door, smiling at the unseemingly sweet gesture. She said, "How pretty." And without saying a single word, the clown reached into their pocket, pulled out a .38 caliber pistol, and shot Marlene point blank in the face. And then the clown calmly went back into the convertible and drove away, and Marlene died in the hospital 2 days later.
Sheiks.
Yep.
Yep. That's one of the killer clowns. There's more to go into here.
Sorry, we had to have a leg shuffle because both of our legs were cramping.
Yeah, so we're sitting on like a sofa
Yeah.
bed thing that we flattened out.
So this is now my leg that's across
So
Sam's lap.
if you see this, then that is Jodie's leg.
Yeah.
But if you might not see that,
Sam does have legs and they are under my leg.
I don't have legs. I just roll onto here, then roll off when I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going more into the killer clown case of our orange hair friend, not so much friend. There was a perceived love triangle between the victim and the suspect. So police immediately realised this wasn't actually a random act of violence, and it was actually an execution. And they looked closely
Such a harsh word,
execution.
One of those words that really hits
Execution.
its meaning on the head. You know what I
I
mean?
can't remember what the word is
You know
for
how-
that, but
yeah.
there is like a.
You know how the word
Sounds-
love isn't enough for what the
It means.
emotion of love is.
Yeah.
It's like execution is like a
The same.
yeah. Sorry, carry on.
But yes, they looked closely at Marlene's husband, Michael Warren, who actually used a car dealership. And Marlene and Michael had actually a very rocky marriage, and Marlene actually owned several of their properties and businesses in her name, and she had reportedly told her son, "If anything happens to me, your father did it." So yeah, Michael had an ironclad alibi, and he was driving into a racetrack with friends when the shooting happened, and the attention then shifted to a Miss Sheila Keane, who was a woman who worked for Michael repossessing cars, and the rumours were rampant that they were actually having an affair. So the circumstantial evidence against Sheila was very wild. Let's put it like that. So there's costume shop employees actually identified her as the woman who bought a clown suit days prior. And a grocery store clerk, actually remembered that a woman matching her description buying those exact balloons an hour before the murder.
Ooh.
Same person. There was also the getaway car, which was stolen from Michael's car lot, which was found with orange acrylic fibres inside that match the cheap clown wig. I don't know why I'm like signing it as well. But in 1990, prosecutors actually felt that the evidence was too weak and circumstantial to convict, and the case went ice cold for decades.
Which is awful.
It is.
Which, I mean, I feel like that wouldn't happen nowadays, would it? Like, circumstantial evidence is like, in a lot of cases, it's used correctly, you would like to think.
Yeah.
And it actually did prove in this one.
Yep.
Because in 2002, so 12 years after the murder had happened, Michael Warren and Sheila Keane actually got married, and they ended up moving to Virginia and opening up a burger joint together called Purple Cow. And local rumours eventually swirled that Michael's new wife, Sheila, was the infamous Florida killer clown. And obviously, rumours do have a way back to the truth at some point, don't they?
They do.
And in 2014, so this is a good 12 years again after this, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office reopened the cold case, and using modern DNA technology, they tested the human hair that was found inside of the 1990 getaway car, and it was a perfect match for Sheila, now Keane Warren. And in 2017, Sheila was arrested at her home in Virginia and charged with first-degree murder after 27 years of committing the crime.
Interesting as well. I know this is coincidence, but Pennywise comes back every 27 years.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Who's ready for the second season of Welcome to Derry?
Yes. That was really good.
If
you haven't seen, if you're an It fan, watch that. It's on par,
really,
if
really
not better even than the films. I think it's got a lot of heart to it, and it's very scary.
It does.
So definitely watch that.
Yeah.
It's our recommendation.
Then we go on to 2023, where right before her trial was set to begin, Sheila actually took a surprise plea deal, pleading guilty to second-degree murder, though she still maintains her innocence, claiming that she only took the deal to get to go home to her family. In 2024, because the crime happened in 1990, back when Florida law allowed massive time off for good behaviour, and because she had already spent years in jail awaiting trial, Sheila Keane Warren was officially released from prison in late 2024.
So Sheila Keane Warren is out and about again.
She is out and about again.
She might be listening to this podcast.
She might be. And if she is, we don't approve.
Not for me.
Not at all.
Go away.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you publicity aside from talking about how awful the things you
Of a
have
person
done.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my English was really bad in that sentence, but something that you may have to decide whether it is bad or not is very controversial. We'll be going into our silver screen.
Welcome to the Silver Screen. So for those of you that don't know, this is the segment of our episodes where we talk about a specific We talk about a specific
Is a
film
video of some sort.
for the week.
Yeah.
Video motion captured image.
A video motion captured image, aka a film, aka a movie.
Yes. AKA. And for this episode, if you hadn't guessed already, because I feel like we've already said enough about it and stuff like that, it's not actually about it.
No.
But
it
instead
will be appearing probably at a later date.
Yeah.
In the season.
However, for this episode, we'll be going on to a different one of our scary circus friends. That is Terrifier, aka Art
This
the
guy
Clown,
right here, if you can see.
aka that guy right there. So Terrifier was made in 2016, and just to give you a quick little plot summary, set on Halloween night in a gritty, unnamed city, Terrifier follows two friends, Tara and Dawn, who become the targets of Art the Clown, a silent, sadistic entity who stalks them into an abandoned apartment building for a night of unrelenting torture and murder. The film was inspired by director Damien Leone's desire to create a memorable modern horror icon, taking cues from classic slasher villains but replacing traditional tropes with extreme graphic practical gore and a silent dark comedy mime persona.
Yes, and iconic Art the Clown is indeed.
He is, very much so.
Yes, so Terrifier actually originated as a showcase for director Damien Leone's DIY practical effects. So it was like a showcase of look at what I can do, because he did the practical effects in the film.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, it's very, very good for a low budget. We looked up yesterday, it's $35,000 approximately, which for a film is...
Especially for films
nothing.
nowadays, that's, yeah, it's like...
Nothing.
pittance.
But yes, it evolved from a standout character in his 2008 short, The Ninth Circle, and then it turned into a feature-length film all about Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's very iconic, and he's certainly 10 years later, he's definitely like an iconic slasher villain.
And he's staring at me right now.
He is. He's got this horrible face.
I think it's his teeth that freak me out the
Yeah,
most.
it's sort of like...
It's because he's like
it's
this
it's super duper gummy.
all the time, but it's like
super gummy and
blood
rotty
and stuff,
and
yeah.
all at once.
Ugh.
Not good. But yeah, Leone actually intentionally designed Art the Clown to be an exact antithesis of the Big P, Pennywise himself. Completely mute, monochrome, and reliant on brutal physical weapons rather than like a more cosmic illusion. Obviously Pennywise, if you haven't seen it or read the book, then it might be a surprise, but he's an alien and he's not actually a clown by traditional form. But
he's a clown by choice.
He's a clown by choice. Art the Clown is a clown by choice, but he's a person.
Yeah.
And he is just brutal.
Yeah.
He's just a brutal person.
If anything, he's scarier because he's a person. I think with
But-
aliens and stuff, you can
But
kind
also,
of like let it off.
Art the Clown definitely has some element of a power going on as well.
Oh yeah,
Like
he's
like our
possessed
Michael
or
Myers,
something.
like our Michael Myers, like our Jason, who can't die. This guy is on the right lines. But yes, it was funded through grassroots crowdfunding after being rejected by Hollywood for its very extreme gore, which the first one is, and I know progressively they get more and more.
Which is crazy that they get more and more, because
Yeah.
the first one is like,
Yeah, you do see
Anyway,
a lot.
it's crazy.
But the film actually truly found its identity when Leone cast Mr. David Howard Thornton, who is a trained physical comedian who brought a dark, silent mime persona to the sadistic killer of Art himself. And David Howard Thornton is essentially what makes the film good, in my opinion.
I agree. He's got one of those like Jim Carrey faces where he can just like mold it really well.
And Jim Carrey would make a very great horror villain as well.
He would.
Like a really good Art the Clown type thing.
Excuse me, I'm really tired.
Yeah, not bored.
In the luteal
tired.
phase right now, so my body wants to like throw itself off a cliff.
I'm not in any phase. I'm just here, chilling.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Not a phase.
Wait, but then I have to do like the hair swoop. It's in a clip right now, so it's easiest to do this, but because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again.
That's very disappointing. Being one of the co-hosts to that atrocity of an impression
Yeah, an impression.
and a look. Yeah.
I'm actually speechless. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
But getting into some more facts that will make you speechless.
Oh,
Did you like that? That was good, yeah.
that was quite good.
I'm
actually.
very quick-witted today. Not normally, but
No,
here we go.
normally it's me. Today it's Sam.
Normally it's...
Usually it is.
Here we go.
No? Anyway, some fun facts for you guys before we get into the controversy.
Yes,
and
because
the,
as we know, Terrifier is a very controversial
it
film.
is indeed. So let's keep it lighthearted for now, huh?
Let's do that.
So David Howard Thornton, aka Art the Clown, actually won the role without speaking a single word during his audition as well. So that was because director Damien Leone asked him to improvise a kill scene on the spot using mime. Thornton then acted out, sawing off a victim's head, tasting the blood and finding it tasted terrible, switching flawlessly between theatrical clown comedy and sadistic horror.
I mean, that is so like Art the Clown already.
Yeah, it really
Like,
is.
Kind of like...
He does that in one of the scenes, doesn't he? But I think he likes the taste rather than not liking it.
Yeah, he's just all over the shop. Let's
Yeah.
put it like that. So the film's most notorious and graphic sequence, if you have seen Terrifier, you probably know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. The hacksaw scene.
The hacksaw scene.
Yes. And it was shot using purely low-budget, practical methods. So actress Catherine Corrin, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, was physically hung upside down and then shackled by her ankles without a safety harness or a rig. And because of the intense physical strain, the crew could only film the sequence in tight 40-second increments, rushing to slide a support platform under her between every single take.
Oh.
So yeah, it must have been quite uncomfortable being up there.
Have to, because she's hung upside down, isn't she? So the blood would go to her head.
Yeah.
So it's quite unsafe, I suppose.
Yeah. But it's a great sequence.
You could have just filmed it the right way up and flipped it upside down in post.
It wouldn't have the realism, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Anyway, after that we then have Jenna Cannell, who actually played Tara, so the protagonist in the film, actually performed all of her own stunts during shooting, and due to the micro-budget nature of the production, there really just simply wasn't room in the budget for her to actually have a stunt double anyway. So it required the core cast to actually endure really heavy physical demands for the intense, like, cat and mouse sequences where they get chased by Art the Clown himself, which is really impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it's a lower budget film. Some of the acting is like a little bit hit and miss.
There is a lot of the acting in Terrifier that's like a bit.
Yeah, but I think Tara's is some of the best that I've seen.
Yeah.
And she looks exactly
like Neve Campbell.
Like Neve Campbell from Scream. Which,
She-
if you want to know more about Scream, watch the last episode.
Yes, very good. Yes, yes, please do, because it is. We go into all things rippers and serial killers as a general kind of term. And our Patreon episode is also out where we spoke about
The Yorkshire Ripper.
The Yorkshire Ripper and Zodiac, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did.
It did indeed. So yeah, so there we go. Go and check that out. Go and check both of those out.
Yeah. Check them out.
But anyway, the blue Toyota Camry driven by Dawn in Terrifier was actually kept by the production team and repurposed years later for Terrifier 2 as the vehicle belonging to the mother of the main characters, Sienna and Jonathan.
Ooh.
So that's quite good that they kind of kept it in. Whether that was kind of like an intentional like Easter egg or whether they just sort of used the same car. It's still cool nonetheless. I like these little facts.
It might be cool to keep it as like a little Easter egg in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, carrying on. So to create the unsettling kind of visceral sound design for Art the Clown's really brutal attacks, the audio team actually didn't rely on digital sound libraries, and instead they used the really sickening squishes and crunches that were generated like entirely in post-production by destroying raw meat, snapping celery stalks and crushing watermelons really close to a microphone.
Clever. Classic Foley stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really, just really, really important as well to add to the realism.
Yeah. But speaking of realism, not everything can be fun and games.
Some people, obviously, with any film, people interpret films very differently.
Yeah.
Some people take films very differently.
People have
that's
opinions.
Fine. People are allowed to. It's an art. You're allowed to like things. You're allowed to hate things. But I always say, as long as it comes with a reason, like a good reason to why you like it, why you don't. Never should be like big arguments about it.
No.
But Terrifier is a very controversial film.
Very, very controversial.
Very much so, because of the gore, because of how explicit it is, and other things that we'll be going into now.
So the film's most notorious sequence, where the character is hung upside down and sawed in half, sparked intense debate upon release, and many critics and viewers condemned the scene as like torture porn that crossed the line into what could have been perceived as pure misogyny from some audience members, arguing that violence was needlessly prolonged and really sadistic towards the female characters. But director Damien Leone actually defended the scene as a pure homage to classic over-the-top 1980s grindhouse gore.
Yeah.
Which I can see
both
the
ends.
middle of both arguments. Yeah.
But at the same time, the 1980s was absolutely riddled with 1980s, 70s and 1990s and beyond. Horror is very riddled with that kind of trope. So it's not something new that is like should be a debate surrounding Terrifier.
Yeah.
It should be a debate that surrounds horror, particularly slash films. I think this isn't. I didn't watch it and think that's different. Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
It kind of just felt like it did feel like a homage. But I can see why people perceive it in the other way.
Well, I suppose
it's kind of like that's why it's a good debate. The final girl trope is like the debate, really. Type thing.
True, actually.
That is kind of where this belongs.
Yeah. It is like an off stem to the final girl trope.
Yeah.
And I suppose, like, from the misogyny perspective, like you said yourself, it happens in a lot of horror films, especially the older ones. Even in Friday the 13th, we're going through the entire series at the moment.
Yeah, we are.
And what one are we on, the second or the third one? The third one.
The third one now.
And already 2 of the female characters have died in like some kind of context surrounding sex.
Yeah.
Like they've either gone to go and hook up with a guy, or they've been in the middle of like sexual action with a guy, and they've been brutally killed. Not that everybody in the scene hasn't. Same as this, everybody in the scene was killed really, really brutally.
Yeah.
But it's just that those 2 particular, I think, instances, and just the kind of context that goes along with them, like how they were killed, is quite like, well, it is sadistic, isn't it? But it's meant to be sadistic, so I can see.
You're not supposed to like these villains.
No.
We're not going to go into the. I mean, we can do like chatting about the final girl stuff, but I think that'd be good for our Patreon episode. Personally, talking about these types of things on like live streams and things. So if you want to hear us talk more about that, about the final girl trope, and talking about characters like Sydney and Laurie Strode and all the other ones, about kind of the debate surrounding them and how their purpose, whether it's kind of empowering or not. We could talk about that. So go and head to our Patreon for that too. But jumping back into Terrifier, it's not really doing anything different from, like we say, Friday the 13th.
It's not.
Scream,
I think it's
Halloween.
just bringing it forward to like an era that was becoming much more aware of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like horror is done well nowadays. I mean, we just had The Backrooms, which personally I would say is more of a psychological thriller.
It's a psychological film.
But we also have like Obsession. We've had like The Conjuring was just before this. After that, we've had like the reworks of, was it after this? I swear it was, wasn't it?
2017.
I thought so. And countless other horror films. I mean, we had Weapons, The Black Phone, all these different types of things.
Nosferatu.
But none of them, Nosferatu,
Insidious.
but none of them
Tons.
relate back to that classic 1980s like gore. And even when that was introduced,
slasher stuff is,
yeah,
comes and goes in eras, and I think Terrifier is kind of the modern day one that's still about.
Yeah, I think basically if it was done back in the 80s in a similar way, it would have had the same reaction as the rest of the films. And I think that it would have been received the same way that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was, and that Friday the 13th was, and all these types of things. I think it would have had the same response back then because of its like brutality and stuff.
Context, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about context.
Yeah.
Roundabout way.
But I think that where it's like trying to do that same thing but with a newer audience, people at the time were already walking out of the cinemas for like Psycho and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like if they were going to walk out for like a woman getting stabbed in the back of the shower, then of course they're going to go like crazy like nowadays for like a woman being hacksawed through the middle.
From the nave to the chops, as one Macbeth play once spoke. But yeah, it is.
You can see the argument from both sides.
You can see it from both sides.
So let us know what you think in the comments. Where do you sit on the spectrum? I like the film.
Yeah.
And I'm quite like, not particular, but I noticed these like political statements in a lot of these films,
Mm.
and it didn't feel political to me.
It just felt like a homage.
Yeah, I think when you do like
But that's why it's a standout film in that regard,
Yeah.
because it's bringing that kind of old trope from the 80s
Yeah.
back in to a modern context, but not changing it to fit like a more modern perspective. That's why it's, the controversy
yeah,
behind it is a really good marketing thing, because it's kind of like, as people who love horror, it's really good for them, but also people that aren't but see it as like not progressive, or like bring the marketing up. So
Yeah.
in both angles, the film will get big.
yeah.
You know,
It's like any publicity.
ticking boxes
is
and it's
like
crossing
good
boxes
publicity,
as
you
well.
know. But yeah, I see it from both ways.
Yeah.
I just think if they had a larger budget, and if they were able to make like more conscious decisions as to like other ways to like bring that tribute back to the era that they were like trying to make it about, then it would be even more noticeable, as that is like the concept for it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But
Moving on.
I believe Damien Leone did a very good job with
I think so too.
this film.
With the money that they had.
I mean,
but-
especially seeing as it's like now. I mean, now Art the Clown is going to be in Dead by Daylight if you play that. I mean, he's become that iconic that he is amongst. He's in the world's biggest horror game, which has now been called. Which I agree. I love that game. I've played over 1,300 hours on it.
And I've watched Sam play
Yes, and
nearly that amount of
I
hours.
think it's a fantastic game. I love it. It's so much fun.
It is very different
competitive.
when you watch it and stuff. I just haven't had the chance.
But the fact that he's in that amongst like Freddy Krueger and Ghostface and Leatherface and the others.
Yeah. It's taken its time to get into that league, but it's up there
Art the
now.
Clown is up there, so it's
Yeah.
obviously done something to please horror fans.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's made for.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like a thing of a gift. Like this is for horror fans. This isn't for like your average Joe who likes, I don't know, Love Island and just Love Island. This is like, if you like Friday the 13th and the others, then you'll probably like this.
Yeah, 100%. I did really like it, but when we were watching it, I did ask you, like, when was it made, didn't I?
Because you thought or when was it set?
Yeah, because I thought it was much older. It was giving me, like,
2000
like
vibes.
Scream vibes, scary movie vibes, that kind of, like, late 90s, early 2000s, like, grainy style.
Yeah.
Which I did really, really like. And if it was set at that time, I think I would have liked it a lot more.
Mm.
But knowing that it's made in 2016, and then apparently it's set in 2017, according to like my
It's set a year
my
later,
really quick
apparently.
Google search.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like proven to be set in like the modern era. I think there are other ways to do that.
Yeah. I think it could have done
I
with
think-
it being set earlier, like in the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
would
think
be
if it
kind
was
of a cool vibe.
intentionally set back then, and if there were more kind of intentional like comparisons to the 1980s, then that would be like
Yeah.
an easier way to connect it to that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
I think as a film, if you like gore, you'll like it.
You'll like
you know?
Terrifier, for
Yeah.
sure.
But anyway, getting on to the next one. Carrying on from what we're saying, actually, about the level of gore that's in it. The film was actually deemed to be too graphic to ever receive the standard R rating from the Motion Picture Association. And it actually had the filmmakers tried to like cut the movie down to kind of appease censors, it would have lost its core identity as an entire film. So consequently, it had to be released like entirely unrated, which heavily restricted its marketing budget and prevented it from being screened in most commercial theatres chained in 2016.
Yeah. It's kind of what we were saying earlier, is
Yeah.
that like the reason it's so gory is if it was taken away, then it would have lost its whole kind of point.
Yeah,
The whole point is
definitely.
to shock you. But yeah, when the film actually began generating underground buzz, fans and indie distributors attempted to share promotional clips, trailers, or even practical effects and behind the scenes footage on platforms like Facebook and YouTube. These people actually faced immediate shadow bans and content removals. The platforms flagged the realistic practical effects as actual real-world violence and gore, heavily stifling the film's early digital marketing efforts. I mean, if you're making something and you know, you want the effects to be realistic, I'd take that as a good sign that YouTube and all these other sites actually flag it as being real.
I was actually about to say that. I was like, it's kind of a compliment in a weird way,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like, you've done
It's a
such a
strange
good
compliment.
job that it looks real.
Yeah.
Which in the film it did look real for like a
Yeah.
lot of it. There are a couple of scenes where you think, but I think for like a good 90% of it, I was like, ooh, that looks like meaty.
There's some good stuff in
Yeah,
there.
meaty, but like not in a good way. Anyway, we then have another one, which is a major legal kind of controversy emerged when the actress Catherine Corcoran,
I think. Yeah.
Catherine Corcoran, who played Dawn in the film, actually filed a lawsuit against the director and producer, who was Phil Falcone.
So
who was Phil Falcone, and that was because she alleged that she was shortchanged on back-end financial deals, claiming that she was promised a 1% of the profits and merchandise rights in exchange for her low upfront rate, but she only received a tiny fraction.
Yeah.
Which is kind of happening now with the Backrooms.
Is it Backrooms or Obsession?
I can't remember. One of the two, but the who was it? The production designer / like art direction person said that they were only paid, I think, $7,000 to shoot the entire film.
Yeah.
Because it had like a reasonably small budget. For a Hollywood film, it had a small budget. Compared to this, it was like out of the water. But yeah, they only had $7,000 to make that film.
Yeah.
And now obviously it's like unimaginably successful, and for like a first feature film as well in Hollywood, it's like a crazy successful amount. So I think there's speculation of there being a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Hopefully not, because obviously we don't want young filmmakers against each other.
No.
But
hopefully there can be a way to sort that out.
Yeah, lessons are going to be learned, I think.
Indeed.
One way or another. Then we move into another legal dispute. Then we move into another side of the same legal dispute. And when Corcoran actually levelled serious accusations regarding the filming of the notorious upside down hacksaw scene, she alleged that she was actually not informed ahead of time about the extent of the on-screen nudity required, and that the producer, Phil Falcone, had actually taken unauthorized still photographs of her body while she was in a vulnerable state during the 10-hour effects molding process, creating what she described as a toxic work environment.
I mean, there definitely should have been probably more. I mean, you can partly probably put it down to the fact that it's low budget, probably not experienced people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's kind of that thing of what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
And probably consensual things, and implementing things of like was it intimacy coordinators.
I was literally just about to say that. On a lot of lower budget,
it's very important
to
have that in low budget stuff, because it's not like overseen by like Warner Brothers or your Universal or anything like that, because it's all being done in-house.
Yeah, people tend to skip that step when it's lower budget things, because they think like,
and things like this can then happen.
Yeah, they think, oh, it's not important, like everybody, like it's like my friends or like their friends or like people who you know, so
it's still really good practice. It's not going to
be an issue, but it is very, very important.
Yeah.
And I'm sure,
like I say, it avoids legal problems.
Yeah, I haven't seen the end like outcome of this case, so I'll probably end up looking it up after this. But if it isn't true, these are very harmful things to obviously come up with. But if it is true, which it wouldn't surprise me, with all the things that do come out about Hollywood, it probably seems that this like most likely is true. Then I really hope that she did get like at least some type of compensation for it, because that is more than a toxic work environment. That's like a really dangerous work environment, and it could have been like worse. It could have escalated on set. It could have been like,
people need to learn how to do it properly.
100%.
That isn't professional.
Yeah. it's just
work.
not professional,
No.
and it's completely.
You wouldn't do that if you're working in B&Q.
There's just
would
no
you? So
etiquette.
it's like, you know, you wouldn't take a picture of someone.
No, not at all.
Especially when they're like that.
Yeah.
So
It's just out of order.
we'll see. We don't know. If you know, let us know in the comments as well.
But yeah.
Let us know what you think about all of these controversial things.
Yeah.
Let us know what your thoughts are if you disagree with us. Why? Let us know why. You know, we're open. We're open to agree to disagree and disagree to agree. So
But
whatever you believe is absolutely fine.
if you are
We're open
making
to debate.
a short film, or if you are making your first feature film, and it does contain some elephant
It might have an
some
elephant in it.
element of nudity or intimacy or some type of exposure of anybody in any way, or if there are minors on the set as well, make sure that you get consent from everybody. Make sure that
Look up the legal
is,
process of doing it.
yeah, covered legally. Make sure that everybody has insurance. Make sure that it's a trusted group that you have with you. Make sure that there's security if you have the budget for it. Make sure that you are doing check-ins with all the members of staff, and make sure that there are intimacy coordinators on scene, on set, and just make sure that it's a safe environment as best as you can.
Creating a film should be safe and fun and entertaining.
Whether you're a camera assistant, whether you're a director, whether you're just a runner, everybody has got their own right to a safe environment, and everybody should be comfortable. I say comfortable. You're doing 16-hour days, so you're not going to be comfortable.
Comfortable
but everybody
in the
should
context
feel,
of what you're
everybody
doing.
should feel safe while they're there.
100%.
So yeah, if you don't, take it out with your director immediately. If not, go to the first assistant director, because they usually get shit done. Or the producer, those three.
Yeah.
But,
anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah, definitely say something instead of being quiet about it.
Back to Terrifier. Upon the film's release and growing underground popularity, this is actually like my conversation I had at Centre Parks, sort of verbatim almost. Professional clown organisations actually publicly criticised the film, and representatives from the community argued that the extreme unrated brutality of Art the Clown heavily contributed to coulrophobia, fear of clowns, and actively harmed the livelihood of real-world children's entertainers by reinforcing the evil clown trope in pop culture.
Yeah.
Again, it would have had an impact, of course.
But you could have also said the same thing about it when it was written.
And there was. The same thing was said. Jaws.
Yeah, and the films when it was made.
Same thing was said about Jaws.
Yeah.
You know? So it's it's all within context, and it's all down to those people who, if you actually are scared of clowns, then you're likely not going to book a clown for your children's birthday, because you're scared of them.
Yeah.
It's all down to the individual, whoever's consuming this media, how they react to it. So.
Yeah. And just looking at the background behind you and all the films that we've got up, it's going to happen regardless of the position that is being shown.
Yeah.
You know, it's like A Nightmare on Elm Street. That's going to teach you to be careful of school janitors and gardeners and things like that. And then American Psycho is going to teach you to be careful of businessmen and finance bros. You know.
Yeah.
And then Primate. Scared of monkeys.
Yeah. Halloween, be scared of people that are called Michael.
Yeah.
And, Children of the Corn, people that are afraid of corn.
Not
so
just
on.
children, but people that are afraid of corn.
People that are afraid of corn. Mm-hmm. We digress, but...
It's going to happen no matter what you put out there. There's always going to be somebody that's got to moan about it.
100%.
So.
Yeah. But, as you may know from the title of our video, we have a very imposing question. Is Terrifier terrifying or terrible? And we have some little debate questions to put through, and we're going to just chat about it. Let us know what you think. Is Terrifier terrifying or is it terrible?
Oh, I did it again.
No more referencing.
I did it again.
We're not going to go with that.
Did that in the last episode as well.
Yeah, no more 6-7s.
Yeah. Anyway.
Makes me really angry, that.
So, is extreme gore a valid tool for building cinematic dread, or is it just a cheap crutch to mask a total lack of substance?
I mean, it can be debated as cinematic dread.
I think it's both.
When it's done tastefully and correctly, Terrifier, I think, does, in the sense because there's always build-ups to it, and it shocks you sometimes seeing it. Is that, well, in horror sometimes shock can come in many different forms.
Yeah.
So it can come in a form of like seeing something you don't expect, hearing something you don't expect, witnessing something you don't expect. It's kind of, or like a twist in the story that you don't expect. And I think that type of thing
Just
that makes you
catching
feel
somebody
unease,
off guard, yeah.
you kind of then get worried about witnessing it later in the film. So I think extreme gore can be a valid tool, not that it is a valid tool. It can be.
I think there's a definite like line between the two. And I think that personally with Terrifier, it just oversteps the line. Like if there's like a chart and this is terrifying and this is terrible, and the line for the gore is in the middle, I would say it just teeters that line a little bit over to the terrible side. For me,
edges you a little bit.
For me, edging. In the back of the Red 4. Have you watched The Boys? It was brilliant. Let us know what you thought in the comments.
Yep.
But only because they don't ever give Art the Clown like a at least in the first film anyway, because this is what we're talking about in this episode. They don't give him like a motive, which is terrifying, but it's not in the same way as the Joker, where he has like a day job or where there's like other stuff going on because he's like a criminal, you know. It's like he is just psychotic.
He's just killing people.
And then it's at the very end of the film where they have that slightly supernatural undertone, which is important, and I get it's like a plot twist. But if there was like hints of that throughout the film to kind of give you this like, oh, okay, like there's something else going on here, you know, instead of him just being fucking crazy, then maybe it would kind of bring it back to that like entire balance. But I think where I feel that Art doesn't really have a purpose in this film, there's no reason for him to be doing the acts that he's doing until the very end, when it's like kind of realized that he's just like this crazed supernatural like tie-in somewhere. Then it makes sense. But that's where the line is for me. So I think it slightly steps over into that. I think the gore steps over a little bit, but only because I don't see a reason for it in the first film. But that might change. I haven't seen the rest of them just yet, so maybe we'll find out when we go into the rest of them.
But did the movie make us feel genuine terror or suspense, or did it just make us feel squeezy and disgusted? I think both. I think because David Howard Thornton's like portrayal of Art the Clown is genuinely scary, and the way he does it is really, really amazing. But there are also obviously elements of squeezy, like that kind of like that queasy sort of feeling. So
for me, it was more like squeezy and disgusted throughout the majority of the film. But the bit that did make me feel like genuine, there's suspense throughout the entire thing. I think it's
you feel
shot,
on edge.
It's shot really, really well.
And
for
like the budget,
like the lighting and the pacing of the film make the suspense really, really good. But the bit that made me like that tiny bit like genuinely horrified or terrified, as we'll say because of this, is the scene when he's coming up the stairs nude.
Oh, he's got the body
after he's just taken certain bodily parts off of another victim and he's wearing them. Because I think
that bit was, I don't really like that part.
It's giving like Ed Gein vibes.
Yeah, definitely, probably influence. So
and then I think where it's Ed Gein still with like the Terrifier facial makeup and stuff, it's just combining that fear of like, I don't know, clowns, murderers, supernatural weird stuff, because at that point you think like, that's the point when I thought this guy is fucking crazy. You know, like
that's the point, is to see him as like
there's so many murders and stuff before that in the film, but you think like, oh, okay, like it's like a serial killer type stuff, like there's like a screw loose, and then you get to that bit and you're like, no, he's just like, not even like, his whole fucking toolbox is like spilled everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not just a screw loose, it's like the whole thing's falling apart. Every screw is already fallen off and there's bolts rolling everywhere.
There's no way of putting it back together. Thing. So,
but that was the bit that made me feel like, whoa. But I thought it was good for balancing all of those feelings. Especially the suspense. I found it really suspenseful.
Indeed. So obviously going on to the practical effects side of things, obviously is very, very interestingly and well done. But can incredible DIY practical effects actually save a movie with essentially a non-existent narrative, like Terrifier, because it doesn't really have a narrative. It just happens. The things that go on just happen. But I think, yes, otherwise it wouldn't be entertaining.
Yeah.
There's not really like a story as such.
Well,
it's more like
earlier.
a context.
Yeah.
Things happen within the context, and then the film finishes.
Well, that's what I mean earlier about like my graph.
Yeah.
With the with the balancing of it.
The Jodie graph.
The Jodie graph. But yeah, I think that if the effects had been mediocre or just a bit shit and they just weren't that great, then it would have been classed as like a kind of B-rated movie, you know?
Yeah.
And it would have just been more comedic if it was like bad effects.
It does give like a B-movie vibe, not
it does
the B
a little
movie,
bit,
but B movies.
Do you like jazz?
Barnaby Benson himself.
But I do think that because the special effects in the film are so good, it does kind of give it bonus points. I do think
the special effects and David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown are the two things that steal the show.
I think it is just a wow factor, isn't it? I think because it is so gory and because you're not expecting it, because it's not like it's somebody shouting about what they're going to do or like how they're going to kill this person. It's literally a mute black and white clown. It's something quite like unsuspecting because it's quiet and also like it's uncolourful.
The contrast of the blood, because he's like the monochrome, and then the pop of the blood when it's on him is really cool.
So I do think it saves it personally.
Yeah. So let us know. Do you think Terrifier is terrifying?
Terrifying?
Or terrible?
Or terrible.
Put your debate questions in the comments. We'll be glad to have a chat or a debate with you, what you believe, if whether you disagree with us, have any more anecdotes to put in there. Drop it down there first and we'll get to it.
We will indeed. But before we get to your comments, let's go to our last section of today's episode, which is the Spooky Spotlight. For this episode's Spooky Spotlight, we are going to do what we usually do, and we have found a story that is relevant to the topic for this episode. So,
indeed,
where we're talking about killer clowns, believe it or not, this is a story about a clown. Not necessarily a killer one, but
creepy nonetheless.
A creepy clown nonetheless. So this is from Reddit. It's from the No Sleep subreddit, and it was posted 5 years ago in August of 2021, and it is from a user with the name EAPATBP.
Code names, as per usual, of Reddit.
EBAPUB. So.
Yes.
The story.
Grab your popcorn.
Yep.
Or candy floss.
As we said.
If you are. And enjoy the end of today's episode with a little spooky bedtime story.
Yes. So the story is called My Family is Cursed. A clown shows up at everyone's 10th birthday, but no one ever hires one.
Interesting.
So let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
My earliest memory of the clown is from my cousin Jake's 10th birthday party. I was only 5, but I distinctly remember the commotion surrounding the clown. I remember my parents preparing me before we left the house and on the drive there. There's going to be a clown at Jake's party, my dad said.
Just be nice. All you have to do is be nice, my mum added. I didn't understand why they were so worried, why my mum kept wiping her hands on her dress the entire drive to Jake's house, or why my dad kept taking deep breaths. Weren't clowns supposed to be at birthday parties?
When we got to Jake's house, there was something going on. The kids were running around the backyard and jumping in the bouncy castle, but the adults were standing around in silence, their eyes darting back and forth across the yard while some of my aunts and uncles walked in and out of the house periodically. It was like they were all waiting for something to happen. As I jumped in the bouncy castle along with the rest of my cousins, I noticed a movement in the bushes near the gate that led into the backyard.
I continued to bounce, trying to get higher each time in order to get a better look at whatever was there. Finally, I saw the clown appear from behind the bushes and watched as he unlatched the gate. I stopped bouncing and tried to maintain my balance as I watched the clown step into the yard and close the gate behind himself.
I pushed my fingers through the mesh in the bouncy castle and pressed my face against it, staring at the clown as he scanned the backyard until his eyes landed on me. He stared at me for a few seconds and I stared back, not really knowing what to do. Nobody else seemed to have noticed him yet, and my cousins continued bouncing around behind me. He was short and wore a short, curly, rainbow-coloured wig. His face was white, but it seemed like his skin was naturally that pale too. It didn't look like it was paint at all. His lips were normal size, but painted bright red, and he had a giant round red nose. His eyes were dark, so dark that I couldn't distinguish the pupil from the iris. He had 2 black lines that started above his black eyebrows and ran down his eyelids to the tops of his cheeks, which appeared to be inflated with something. They were round and protruding, with pink blush on them, and his skin was smooth like porcelain.
He wore yellow polka dot pants that were held up by red suspenders and a white shirt with giant red buttons down the front, and red ruffles around the neck, chest and sleeves. He wore shiny red clown shoes, and he carried a gift bag in one hand. I don't know how long I stood there watching him, but suddenly I was being pulled out of the bouncy house by my mum. She dragged me to a table and sat me down in the chair in between herself and my dad.
I continued to watch the clown as he approached my cousin Lisa and pulled out a balloon that was pink from a pocket in his pants. He blew up the balloon and then twisted it into a dog, handing it to her. She took the balloon dog from the clown and ran to her mum, my Aunt Chelsea, who then grabbed Lisa roughly and dragged her away from the clown. There was an impalpable amount of tension for the remainder of Jake's birthday party. Our parents wouldn't let us stray too far, and the clown stayed the entire time, wandering around the yard and handing out balloon animals or honking his nose for the children.
When it came time to open presents, we watched as Jake unwrapped countless video games and action figures, along with a few clothing items. Once he finished opening the last gift from a family member, the clown walked up to Jake and handed him the gift bag he'd been carrying around for the entire party. I watched as Jake's mum tried to stop the clown from handing Jake the gift, while my uncle held her back.
We all watched as Jake thanked the clown and opened the gift bag, taking out handfuls of tissue paper until he reached in and pulled out the gift. "It's a book," Jake said. I saw his mum sigh in relief, and Jake turned the book over in his hands, looking at it. It was a small hardcover book with a glossy dust jacket that had a drawing of a beach on it.
Jake thanked the clown, and it walked away from him, through the gate and away from the house. Once he was gone, Jake's dad snatched the book from him. Asked him about it later, but he told me his parents had thrown it out.
I saw the clown a few times after that, at every cousin's 10th birthday party. He would show up in the same outfit every time, and give them a hardcover picture book that their parents would get rid of. When I was 10, the same thing happened, and although I begged my parents to let me see the book, they declined. The night of my birthday party, I snuck out of my room and saw my dad go up into the attic with my book. I tried to find it a few times after that day, but he had hidden it well, and it was nowhere to be seen.
I once asked my parents why any of us had had birthday parties, and if they were so afraid of the clown, but they told me that the clown would shut up anyway. He always knew. I didn't see the clown for a couple of years.
All of my cousins had passed the age of 10, and none of them were old enough to have had their own children yet. When I turned 20, my parents died in a car accident and I inherited their house. By that time, I'd forgotten all about the clown and the book and didn't care to read it or figure out why they'd taken it away. And then about 12 years later, my daughter Wendy had her 10th birthday party.
My wife knew about the clown, and we had already seen it appear once before at Jake's twins' birthday party. We had prepared Wendy and had given her the same warnings my parents had given me. Be nice to the clown. About 30 minutes into the party, the clown jumped over the backyard fence and wandered to the table where Wendy and her cousins were getting makeovers. I stopped myself from running over and stopping him.
He looked exactly as I had remembered him. Not a single thing had changed, not even his outfit. I watched as he caught my niece Alice's eye and pulled out a blue balloon from his pocket. He blew up the balloon and then pulled out another one and used them both to form a hat, which he gently placed on her head. I watched as she thanked him and clapped his hands together and then continued to walk around my backyard.
Nobody ever tried to stop him because we'd always been warned not to. We were never specifically told what would happen if we tried, but we knew it was bad, and none of us wanted to find out what it would be. When it was time to open presents, I continued to eye the gift bag in the clown's hand. Once Wendy was done with opening the gifts given by her family members, the clown approached her and handed her the bag.
She took it and slowly opened it, digging around the tissue paper until she pulled out the book. "Thank you," she said, smiling at the clown. He took a bow and then walked away, jumping over the back fence. I let out a sigh of relief once he was gone, and I approached Wendy, taking the book from her.
She didn't seem to mind that it was being taken. She seemed glad. I decided to hide it up in the attic, just as my parents had done with mine. But as I stared at it in my hands, curiosity was beginning to set in. It was the same as all the other books I'd seen. Hardcover with a glossy dust jacket that contained a drawing on the front, but no title.
This one had a drawing of a girl that resembled Wendy, standing in front of a birthday cake and about to blow out the candles. She had the same brown, curly hair and green eyes as Wendy did. I opened the book and noticed an inscription on the inside of the cover that said, "Happy 10th, Wendy."
The first page was blank, but the next page was where the story started. There was a drawing of the girl on the cover, wearing a party hat and holding a pile of gifts. Under that it read, "Today is Wendy's 10th. How happy is she? She got every gift she wants, even the things she doesn't need."
As I turned the page, I continued to read the story, and it depicted various drawings of another girl that resembled my daughter, as she did various birthday party activities. Wendy laughs along with friends, and all her guests are filled with glee. Wendy tries to sneak a peek at every gift that she receives.
There were drawings of Wendy with family and friends, everyone smiling and hugging Wendy. And then from beyond the backyard fence comes the best guest of them all, a funny clown, here to have a ball.
On that page there was a drawing of the clown as it jumped over the fence, grinning. The clown loves to party, and it loves 10th birthdays too. He will never miss a chance to show up where he's due. The next drawing was of the clown in the centre of the page, surrounded by black. But this birthday is a bit different. Something big is going to happen. The clown is so excited. This doesn't happen often.
I turned the page to see a drawing of the clown running around the party chasing the guests who appeared to be frightened. They had been drawn with their mouths open and wide-eyed as they ran away from the clown. The clown runs around the yard and pulls something from his pocket. Not a balloon, not a magic handkerchief, but something big and sharp and shiny.
The next page had a drawing of a gleaming butcher knife dripping with blood. A lot of guests must die, but don't worry, Wendy will be fine. The next 4 pages contained various drawings of the clown slaughtering people at the birthday party. Some had their necks sliced open, some were stabbed, and some lost body parts. The clown had his fun. His job here has been done. Happy 10th birthday to Wendy. He will see you at your next one.
The last drawing was of the clown jumping back over the fence, leaving a pile of dead bodies behind him. I shut the book as a chill ran down my spine. I realised why our parents never showed us the books, especially if they were all this creepy, and I wondered why the clown would even give us these books.
I decided to do as my parents had done and get rid of the book at the end of the party. As I tossed the book on top of the fridge, I heard the first scream. I ran to the door and threw it open in time to just see everyone running away from the clown. He was back, and he stood right by the fence with a butcher knife in his hands. On the ground next to him was my cousin Paula's child, Trevor, face down in the grass.
I scanned the backyard, looking for Wendy, but she was nowhere to be seen. All the guests ran across the yard, trying to get as far away from the clown as possible. I watched as Jake tossed his children over the fence and into the neighbour's yard, followed by his husband and then himself.
I looked for my wife and I spotted her running towards me and into the house. "Where's Wendy?" I asked her, grabbing her arm. "She jumped the fence a while ago. She's fine. We need to hide."
She dragged me inside with her as the screams continued. A few more family members made it inside, and we hid in the kitchen and the living room. After a while the screams died out and I slowly got up, opening the door and peering out into the backyard.
"He's gone," I said as I threw the door open and walked outside. There were a total of 10 dead people, and a few minutes after the cops arrived, so did Jake, his family, and Wendy.
I ran to her as I saw her coming to the driveway, picking her up into my arms. "I'm so glad you're okay," I said.
I kept her by my side for the rest of the night as we answered the questions. I didn't tell the police that I knew the clown, as they would never believe the story about my curse. Instead, we told them we had no idea who the clown was and that he hadn't hired anybody. Hours later, everyone was finally gone. Wendy had gone to bed, and I went downstairs and helped my wife clean up some of the mess. Once we were done, I grabbed the book from the top of the fridge and handed it to her.
"What's this?" she asked. "It's what he gave her, Rose," I said as she opened it. "Read it."
I waited for her to finish reading the book. Once she was done, she tossed it onto the counter. "What the fuck?" she hissed. "Did he plan all of that? Is this supposed to be some stupid joke?"
I shrugged. "Did this happen to everyone else?" she asked. "I don't know. Our parents never let us see the books," I replied.
"This is so fucked up, David." We stood in silence as Rose grabbed the book again, giving it a disgusted look. "I'm gonna go look for something," I said suddenly.
I made my way to the attic entrance in the hall and pulled down the ladder. I slowly made my way up, each step creaking as I stood on it. When I reached the top, I flipped the switch and the lights turned on, illuminating the attic enough for me to see. I dug through countless boxes and moved old decor and furniture around until I found it. The book that had been given to me on my 10th birthday. It had been hidden under the cushion of an old chair.
I pulled it out and looked at the drawing of a house and a single light on in one of the windows. I opened the book and found a similar engraving on the inside cover that read, "Happy 10th, David."
I turned the pages and began to read the story, ignoring the pictures. "Today is David's 10th birthday. What a good one it will be. David eats pizza. His favourite topping is cheese. He has a water balloon fight with his cousin Eric, and they take over in the trees.
Everything is fun, and soon it will be great. Here comes the clown. He is never late." David's birthday was a blast, and his gifts were also fun. But don't be sad that it's over. The fun has just begun.
Years go by and the clown sees Dave again. It's now his daughter's 10th birthday, and today the fun will end. A lot of guests had fun, and for others this day was their last. But David's family is alive. Thank the clown for that.
And now it's time for bed. Time to get some sleep. Don't forget to check on Wendy. She hasn't made a peep. The final drawing in the book showed an empty bed in a dark room with a window that was wide open. I stared at it for a second before it hit me. I tossed the book aside and got a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. Something was wrong.
"Wendy!" I shouted. "What's going on?" Rose called.
I didn't reply as I hurried down the ladder and ran to the hall into Wendy's room. Throwing the door open, I flipped the light on and looked around the room, but I was too late. She was gone, her bed was empty, and her window was wide open.
As wide as my eyes right now. Shingles. People say Wendy will become the next clown.
People are saying that they're wondering if it happened because he read the book.
That it almost read itself, like
Yeah.
wrote itself.
Yeah, which I think
That's probably true.
is
Because
probably
it's like
true.
they say don't
That's why
read it.
Yeah, that's why they don't get people
Because
to
things
read
will
it.
happen.
Yeah, so it's probably happened before. One person's
Yeah.
read it.
Oh.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsies.
Oh,
That was
really good.
really...
That would make a really good film.
That would make a really good short film.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty freaky.
Freak me out.
Let us know what you think about the
Give me
old
chills.
My Family is Cursed and a clown just showing up for the old 10th birthday party. Because no motive by the looks of things, because it's kind of quite supernatural in some elements.
Yeah.
'Cause it's kind of like the Death Note book.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Like when you write something in it and then it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let us know what you think about that story. But unfortunately, with that, we have reached the end of today's episode.
We have.
No! So, if you have managed to find your way through the Hall of Mirrors this episode,
Get it? Because it's a circus.
Circus, Hall of Mirrors, Black and Shine, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for Bad Boo updates and new episodes, as there's plenty more frights, flicks, and folklore to come.
You can also haunt us on socials at Bad Boo Podcast. It is definitely Bad Boo Podcast because we changed
It
it.
is.
It's no longer Productions, it is Podcast, so it's easier to
Indeed.
find for you guys, where you can interact and leave suggestions for future episodes and videos, or contribute through polls and posts.
Indeed. So if you're after more creepy content, then join us on our Patreon, as we've said, where you can see more of us in exclusive videos, chat forums, live streams, gameplays, the whole lot.
Only on the Conjure Club.
All in the Conjure Club itself. So we'd love to see you there. Let us know if you joined, and yeah, it'd be great to have you guys there.
It definitely would. But that's all from us for this crazy circus of an episode today. We've been your haunted hosts, Sam and Jodie, unravelling the dark so that you don't have to. And until next time, keep your lights on, your doors locked, and remember,
The shadow's never empty.